welcome to Cave Haunters. My name's Rob Metcalf. I'm the director at Haunted Appalachian Caverns this year. And in this first episode, what we're going to show you is just all our different locations that we're either building on or the actual locations where the haunt will be. Actually behind me, this is actually the main building, which is the gift shop at Appalachian Caverns. The cavern's right below us. The haunt will run through the caverns. He'll actually run through there and back around to the property across the road. But like I said, in this first episode, we'll take you around, we'll show you all the different locations, show you a little bit of the workshops, show you the office, let you meet a little bit of the staff maybe. And throughout this series, we're going to try to document pretty much everything we're doing this year. We'll give you guys some tutorials on some different props and such that we're making. And we'll also explain more why we're setting up different locations. This is actually going to be the main entrance this year for the haunted house. You will actually walk in the gift shop first this year. This is the main gift shop at Appalachian Caverns. So just know, when you come on location to actually come through our haunt, this will be the place you'll enter. Just go right through the door, right to the counter, buy your ticket, and we'll get you right now. We're in the middle of the gift shop. I'm getting ready to take you guys down, show you the green room, where all the costumes and such will be stored, where we're going to be doing all our makeup this year. Actually, this hallway we're walking down right here is actually going to serve as our queue line this year as well. So everybody will be kind of packed in this way right before they go into the haunt. And I'll fair warn you guys, the green room is extremely messy right now. We've been down here working a lot, kind of doing a lot of rearranging. But this is actually the area that all the makeup people are going to be set up in, which you'll see that in some later episodes. We'll get you introduced to a little bit of our makeup and costume staff. And actually over here on the wall, you can actually see we've already started kind of going through a whole bunch of our costumes and such already. And of course you can see all the tables and chairs where all the actors are going to be able to sit. We can have our meetings and such like that. And we'll actually probably do a few more promotional shots and stuff in this area as well. You'll actually see that in some later episodes, because we're actually going to do an episode. We do like our poster shoots, stuff like that. And actually you can see some more of our electronic props and stuff that are stored back in there. We're kind of going through, getting a little bit of an inventory on that right now. So it's actually a little bit messy at the moment, but you'll see more and more as it comes along as we go along. And then actually back in this room, which we call the dirt clod room, this is actually all the electrical workings and stuff of all the electricity that's down in the cave. Actually back this way, you can see all the fuse boxes and generators and such that we'll use for power down in the cave. Kind of see how much is going into all this. But anyway, that's a shot of our green room. A little bit of our electrical behind the scenes. I'm going to show you some different locations of some different stuff that we're working on. Actually, the area we're in right now, this is actually the main office. You can see kind of how much we got going on. Everything's kind of really, really messy. You can see all the paperwork and stuff we got spread out all over. You know, the big Lowe's receipts. You know, other auction deals that, you know, we bought different props and stuff for. You can see some of the speakers and such we've been working on. You can actually see back here hanging all the different labels from different sponsors and stuff we got. You'll also see too this calendar right here. You can see how full our days are already getting. And right now it's just like April, so I mean you can already see how much is going in to actually make all this happen for you guys. You also see too, we got different books about caves and stuff, trying to learn as much about the caves and stuff as we can, since we're doing a lot in the caves. And you'll also see some other, like the red beacon lights and stuff that we got going. And of course, you know, you see all the computers and everything, which we're doing all our graphic work and everything on. But pretty much that's it for the office. Just thought I'd give you guys a little tour of what all goes into it and how much paperwork and stuff we have to make this happen for you guys. Alright guys, this is Diesel. He's one of the dogs here at the cave. You'll actually probably meet him over and over and over through this series. But this is Diesel. He's #1 cave dog. He's a good boy. And right here, you'll actually see cave dog #2, Lola. You may notice that she's the lazy one. Pretty much she just acts as a big dog skin rug. But yeah, I'm sure you'll see her running around in a few more shots that we do on location throughout the year. Alright guys, meet cave dog #3. This one's Trixie. She's actually the one that likes to go down in the cave a lot with us. So if you actually come through this year, you may find her down here. She likes to sneak down here on her own. You may notice she's already really nasty and muddy. And that's just because she's already been down here playing with the tour group we had down here earlier today. Anyway, guys, this is Trixie. hopefully you'll see her at Haunted Appalachian Caverns this year. Alright guys, we're right here at the workshop. This is actually workshop number 1. I'm going to show you workshop number 2 in another episode. Actually, the first thing you may notice before we even walk in here and I'll show you the rest of it, you'll actually see one of the props we're actually working on first. This is actually our mixer prop for the cafeteria scene. This is actually a real mixer that we got for next to nothing on an auction site. But it's realistic. We're trying to go for as much realism as we possibly can. If you guys come on, follow me in here, I'll actually show you where some more of the magic happens and some more of the stuff that we're actually working on. As we walk in here, you can see once again this area is a whole lot of a mess, but you can actually see all the tools, everything all in here behind me. And of course, those of you that don't know, we're actually doing an insane asylum this year for our theme. The theme this year is going to be Cave Hill Asylum. And actually you'll see the gurneys that we purchased for actual gurneys during the haunted house. You'll see some more of the chainsaw props that we're actually working on and getting ready for all the chainsaws that are going to just scare everybody to death. You'll go over here, you'll actually see one of the other workbenches we got going over here. This is actually more of our blood and guts type area. You'll notice all the great stuff. Any of you hunters that are watching this will actually know exactly what I'm talking about. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I really believe they named it Great Stuff just for that reason, because you can use it for pretty much anything. Two, you'll notice, you'll see all these bottles and everything. We're actually doing those, and some more of our laboratory scenes. We'll show you some tutorials on what we're doing with a lot of that. In another tutorial, I may actually show you a little bit of sneak peek of some other bigger motorized props we're working on, give you guys an idea of how some of that works. Then over here on this side, we actually have a lot of the blood and guts and heads and stuff stored, because actually behind our foam panels right here, you can actually see one of our little wall of head props we've been working on. And actually in behind here, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we'll dig out occasionally throughout the process and show you guys what's going on. And of course, if you guys want to follow me on around this way, we'll actually go underneath this workshop and I'll show you we got a whole bunch more stuff stored. Right here, we actually got a whole bunch more of our lumber stored back in here. A lot of this we've had sitting here for a couple of years trying to get it to age, because of course doing a haunted house, you really don't want anything looking brand new. You can at all keep from it, especially with the type of theme we're doing this year. And the other beautiful thing about doing a haunted house, for those of you that don't know, you can actually go through and just get old stuff from flea market stuff, whether it works or not. It works wonderfully for like aged and just nasty old props. Then right back here, you'll actually see our gigantic collection of pallets that we've come up with. And you'll see more as we get into it. We'll show you some of the different projects we're going to build and do with these pallets. And if you want to follow me underneath the workshop right here, you can see we got a whole bunch more stuff stored. It's actually right over here. We got a lot of our fencing, some more lumber, some of our barrels, and just some other random like yard working props and stuff that we're actually going to use this year as well. Then on around through here, you can actually see over here on the right hand, well, your right hand side, you'll actually see some of the signs we're making to put up through the property that talks about the pedestrian traffic and stuff. Because I mean, it is a haunted house and we'll be very busy during the time, so we're trying to stress safety is one of our biggest concerns. So we're definitely going through that. And then you can actually notice all the paint over here that we've actually accumulated through the years. Most of this paint, if any of you guys don't know, you can actually go to your local recycling center, and most of the time they'll just give you whatever they have. A lot of these are not full cans, but it's a good way to get things for cheaper if you're hunting on a budget. And then right on back out the other side over here. You can actually see the lookout towers that we've been working on for this year's props. They're about 10, 12 foot tall once they're all put together, and that's exactly what they're going to be during the asylum. They'll be placed around the property. We can actually make it look like, you know, some guard towers for looking out. And y'all may notice too, we got this big, huge wire going on right here. This is actually a guardrail wire that we actually picked up from the junkyard. We're going to use it for a few different things, and once again, as we go through this series, we'll actually show you what we're doing with that. All right, guys, in this episode's tutorial, I'm actually going to show you guys how we made our drop panels. For those of you that may not know what a drop panel is, there'll actually be an actor in behind this wall panel right here, and as a group comes through, they'll actually hit this little switch right here. It'll drop this panel, and actually there'll be a square cut out right here that they can actually come out of or actually scream through to actually scare the people coming through. And then plus, you know, the big noise that it makes when it falls, that usually scares everybody as well. I will give you guys an idea of actually how to make your own drop panel. First thing, you got to come up with your measurements. Figure out exactly, you know, what size you need this panel to be to make sure it fits in your haunt. After you get that figured out, we actually start out with a 2x4 frame, just so it's really nice and sturdy. You can use some smaller wood, but I recommend the 2x4s because it's a little more sturdy and it absorbs the impact a little bit better than some smaller cuts of wood. But you actually just start out with your basic square of the panel. We actually use plywood on the other side. You can use some thinner, like Luan, stuff like that, but they usually don't last quite as long. So that's the reason that we actually use the plywood backings on this. And after you actually make just the square outside frame, you'll want to take another 2x4, run it straight across the top where it's just about eye level with the actor. And then on the bottom of that, you'll actually run two 2x4s straight down, and then another one on the bottom to actually catch the panel as it falls. And you can notice here at the bottom, we actually put the 2x4 brackets right here on the bottom to actually help absorb the weight of the panel falling down. And you want to make sure that you do them vertical like this so it'll actually absorb it. Then you go back and you can actually look at the panel. You'll actually see, just to make this a little bit lighter and a little bit easier for the operator to actually lift it up and down every night, we actually usually make the panel out of a 1x2 frame, which is what this is. You gotta be really careful with the 1x2s, they do tend to split a lot on you. But actually what you'll do is once you get your measurements, get everything cut out and fit to size, you'll build the square first. Use a really light, we actually use Luan on the back of this just to make it extremely light here on the back side of this. And then all you'll do is you'll match, it's just a gate latch here on the top. So that way whenever you just hit the latch and it'll fall straight down. And then like I said, with the 1x2 frame, it's extremely easy just to sit back and pop right back in place. We actually are going to put a backing on this, and what we'll do is we'll make a little bit of a handle right here where you can actually move it up and down. But other than that, that's your basic drop panel. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment on it in the comment section below. We'll feel free to answer any of those questions. If there's any other tutorials you'd like to see how we do different certain things, go ahead and post those there too. And if we can, we'll try to get to some of those. Alright guys, now we're actually down in the cave. This is actually one of the first parts of the cave. You'll actually notice this big hole behind me. I'm really, really excited with what we're going to be doing with this hole. This is actually one of the things I'm not going to give away this year, but it's actually going to be something really neat and really spectacular. I really hope everybody comes out and sees it. Anyway, just be on the lookout for this big hole when you first come in. Haunted Appalachian Caverns 2012.